It is good.
You fucking child.
It's good.
Is it really that good?
It's
Should I be
adult.
trying
Dude, the strawberry milk is honestly...
The strawberry milk is fire.
It's pretty freaking good. Compared to their strawberry banana, which is ass.
Yeah, well,
like,
strawberry banana anything is gross.
The strawberry...
Damn, that's incorrect.
The fact
but
that it's
I
normal
respect
milk
your decision.
is wild.
Bananas are good and strawberries are good, but if you mix them together, it's not good anymore.
I think banana flavored everything is trash.
That's incorrect. Very
So
incorrect.
no. So
the
hear me out.
banana
Hear me out.
Laffy
Hear me out.
Taffy is by
no,
far
it's
the best
no, it's
Laffy
not.
Taffy.
Hear me out.
Also, like these banana
Hear me out.
pops, like the frozen ones
more.
back in the day, were fire.
Hear me out. Bananas are good. I like bananas. I fuck with bananas. Every time I have banana flavored anything, it's shit. It just doesn't taste right. It doesn't taste like banana.
Then you're
Banana runts, bro. Like, you can't talk
Runts?
down.
Bro,
about
Oh my
yeah,
God,
I
I haven't
forgot
had
about
it.
You
those.
can't talk down about the runts, okay?
Dude,
that banana,
Since I
little
was, like,
banana right there.
7.
I don't know.
I don't even
Dude,
know
that's
if they
some
still
boomer
make
ass
runts.
candy, dude.
I don't even know the last time I've had runts. I don't know if I've ever had runts.
I think it was like
20 years.
it's gotta
so
be at least
That
20
banana
years
was
ago.
fire,
I'm
dude.
assuming they were national, but like
But I bet you it's not fire no more.
Whoa, don't you talk like that, okay? Runts still, they keep the
do
recipe
they still
the
make
same.
runs?
All right.
I
I'm
doubt
Can
it.
we buy
looking.
runs? Can we order
I'm
some runs?
looking.
You order a whole bag?
Looking.
Yeah.
I bet you money
Runt
that
stream?
Runts does
You can
not
get a-
exist anymore, but off-brand Runts.
Nah,
do.
No,
they exist.
they used to-
You
Companies
can
don't.
buy the entire.
Hang on, let me.
They're not called. Well, yeah, actually.
Yeah,
you
it's
can
made by
buy-
Mars, isn't it?
You can. It's made by Wonka.
Interesting.
Dude.
You can buy like packs of 12 because they still sell them in movie theaters.
He still
I
owns
guess.
that chocolate factory.
Yeah, he does.
But you can also just get
Somewhere.
a bag of just the bananas.
So,
Just the bananas?
I don't know if you guys have ever. They're called banana twins.
Dude, yes.
Those were so good.
It's like a Suzy Q,
Yeah.
but with banana
I have
bread.
no idea what
That
that is,
looks
and it looks
awesome.
horrible.
That looks gross.
Yeah.
That looks
What?
That looks
disgusting.
disgusting.
Y'all don't know what you're missing out on.
It's a Twinkie without the covering.
I don't like it.
That,
It's
doesn't look right.
it's a Twinkie without the garage.
Doesn't look right.
Oh
what's
my
wrong
God.
with the garage?
Yeah,
Exactly. That's what we're saying.
less calories. I mean,
You
that's
just- no,
essentially
it
a
said
salad.
It's the Twinkie without the garage, and I said, "Well, what's wrong with the garage?"
Yeah, they just cut the sides off,
Yeah, they
like no
cut the-
crusts.
Yeah.
Well, what's the fun in that?
It's,
We're
it's
feeling
like a peanut butter
I
and
feel
jelly
like
sandwich.
we're pretty judgmental today. I feel like.
Yeah,
Would you
yeah,
agree?
you
Little
guys
bit, little
are
bit.
very judgmental.
Are you ready to judge other people?
I don't stop judging other people.
Okay.
I'm judging y'all right
Wait.
now.
Bree planned
have-
an extra special podcast day.
I plan an extra special podcast day. I have a few stories from Am I the Asshole?
Right on.
Multiple
Marvelous.
different Reddits that I have scoured and looked at, and most of them I've only read the titles because I didn't want to, spoil myself too much, right?
None
So
of
if
us
they-
are doctors
so if
here,
they
so
suck-
we're just giving
As you all
straight
know,
knowledge.
my opinion matters
typical Gen
more.
Zer with the
Yeah.
news. Well, I don't like the
It's like
title, so
I read
obviously
the title
this is wrong.
and that's it.
Yeah, so
it might be a shit story.
it
We'll
might
find
be a
out.
shit story because I did only read the title, but
Oh, brother.
we're gonna do our best. I have quite a few, so we'll probably not get through all of them, but
No chance.
I can start off on our first one. The title reads, "Am I the asshole for tricking my kids into eating mushroom soup?"
Never.
Wait. Okay. So
Is that it?
That's two. That's two.
Is that it?
That's two different things.
No, there's a
well,
story attached
Oh,
to
there's
it.
a story.
I
Hold
just
on.
No,
said the title.
No. So I.
Do you not know what a title
All right,
means?
we're already starting here. And it's like, you know what? I'm all right with it.
All right,
because
all right.
at the end of the day,
all
let's-
I'm thinking
let's
of
hear
is,
the story.
All
Let's
I'm
hear the
thinking
story.
though is like that weird mushroom tea that Instagram wants me to buy all the time.
What you mean the shroom?
Oh, they keep
you know.
promoting me shroom candy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is not. I don't believe you.
So, a shout out to another podcast I've started listening to, Chinwag, with Paul Giamatti, the actor. Like, it's like this thing where they just like take a topic, like it's a very learning based like podcast. Like the last one was like Buddhism, but they are sponsored by like a psilocybin company.
Nice.
sick.
And I was like, yo, can we
I've
be
heard
sponsored by a psilocybin
I've heard
company?
microdosing mushrooms is really good for you.
No, that's what it is.
I would
It's-
microdose.
So the
If I could go
they
buy
do
it,
say it is good
I think
for
it's
you.
better
So-
than antidepressants.
so
let's
quick-
start microdosing.
No, so the quick science
Maybe
behind
we'll
that.
see a change over time on our podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys seem a lot happier.
We
lately.
could-
No,
I
so-
think we could get some
So
mushrooms.
like that is like the new thing in like psychiatry and psychology is like microdosing and using things like psilocybin, DMT, and things like that to the crazy thing it does is like the long-term effects of antidepressants and stuff like that, they help you like your neurons and all that in your brain connect better, all your chemicals in your brain to kind of like work. And it's one of these things. It's like arbors, right? And it's like things that literally look like trees in your brain that like connect to other things and like the liquids and stuff like that. The cool thing is it takes months to like a year for antidepressants to create those and do that. Microdosing with psilocybin and DMT did it in days.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
it took that stuff weeks, months, and years.
Any of the times that I have like taken mushrooms,
It's insane.
or taken any like psychedelic, I guess I would say, I've always had a weird inspiration and an idea like after. Like
So I guess
almost
what you're
always.
saying is you guys need a weekly
So
mushroom.
You got to do it about every 6 months.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
about every 6
I
months
guess
is,
I'm doing
is
it
the,
once every
is the
few
max.
months, but every few weeks that's
Do you guys
the thing
ever,
is,
hit like a wall of ideas?
I'm hesitant because my last mushroom trip wasn't great. But
Oh, well,
go
don't
on.
worry. We'll take care of
I
it.
mean, now that we're here, let's discuss it. So the reason why you don't want to do it more than once a week or this or that for those of you guys that
Unless you're
do that kind of
microdosing.
stuff, unless you're microdosing, is generally if you are taking any kinds of mushrooms like that, you're poisoning yourself. Your body literally is creating a enzyme to break down the mushroom inside of you, which
Fungus,
causes the reaction, which causes you to basically poison yourself until it goes through your
But you're
digestive tract.
But let's understand.
It's wild.
You're poisoning yourself with the earth.
Well, yeah, agreed. And I think
Mother Gaia knows more than you, Eric.
Yeah, Eric.
I think it's one of those things.
I'm trusting
where
Mother Earth.
It is good in small doses, yes, and it's good in microdose. I've heard a lot of good things from microdosing long before even this.
No, I don't.
But,
I don't know anybody who has like. I know people who have abused mushrooms, but there's very few. Almost everybody I know that has done mushrooms has the same mindset of you of like once every few months,
Yep.
once
Yeah.
every few weeks, maybe.
Right, because you don't need it.
I've never tried
no.
microdosing.
No.
Me either.
But yeah.
All right. So I'm assuming they're not microdosing their kids.
No,
but,
no.
It'd
No,
be a
these
lot
are-
cooler
these
if they
are,
were,
you
though.
or mushroom soup. Sorry.
All right.
Let's start over.
Am I the asshole for tricking my kids into eating mushroom soup?
Okay.
My children are not allergic to mushrooms. My children love cream of mushroom soup. My kids hate the texture of mushrooms. When my wife used canned mushroom soup in a recipe, she will strain out the mushrooms for the kids. However, when I use mushroom soup in a recipe, I run it through the blender. The pieces are so little that they have no texture. The kids don't complain about it, and I don't waste time. My wife seems to think that I'm being an asshole because I'm tricking them into eating something that they have been very clear about not liking. I asked if she would rather eat a fistful of raw flour or a slice of bread. Preparation makes a difference. I think we are both trying to make sure that the kids eat a good meal. We just go about it in different ways. Am I the asshole?
This is such a nothing burger. Who fucking cares?
One, props to great communication on both their parts, though.
No, he explained it perfectly.
He explained it, and like the fact that him and his wife are both like communicating on like what they're doing for their children
No.
when it comes to this meals. Props to both of them because that is great parenting.
No, that the mom's being a little too Tumblr about this.
It's
where
like,
it's
who
like
cares?
you're violating their rights that they don't like mushrooms. Where it's like, bro, as a kid, I hated Brussels sprouts, but that's just because the way my mom prepared them. Like once she started cooking them a different way,
dude.
I love Brussels
My
sprouts.
mom couldn't cook for shit, dude.
Yeah.
The amount of stuff that over time I have learned, this is actually good. She just couldn't cook. Insane.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things. Like I don't like whole mushrooms on pizza. Like it tastes like
Like
a rubber.
If the
it's like a
mushroom
rubber band on a slice of pizza.
Yeah, if the mushroom ain't making me trip, I ain't eating it.
Yeah, but it's also one of those things. Like if it was blended into something,
Who cares?
I think
oh Christ.
Eric has an opinion.
He does. He's thinking.
Go ahead. No, or do you need a minute?
I need to know how cream
Okay.
of mushroom is made. So let me look that up.
All right, you
Dude,
look that up.
'Cause,
It's,
like-
it's going to be milk, cream,
That's
and
what I'm
salt
thinking.
with
but, like,
mushrooms in it, and probably some sort of beef or beef or chicken broth.
It's just crazy to me that she was straining the mushrooms out.
When the
Dude,
essence
my
is
mom
already
would have been
there,
like,
right?
pick 'em-
Like,
mom-
that's what I'm
eat
looking
it
at. Like,
around
it's
it.
literally
Pick
just
it out.
like
Yeah,
it's
pick it
heavy
out.
cream
And don't get me
shit.
wrong,
it's not,
cool of her to go the extra mile, but like if you blend it up and the kids don't give a shit, who cares?
all it is the texture, which is how
Yeah,
it's
if your
prepared.
kids
Yeah.
are like, don't get me wrong, if the kids were allergic, sure. Like,
Right,
hey,
well,
why are you trying to?
I mean,
why
you
are
wouldn't
you
be
trying to
giving
kill
them
the
Why are
cream
you
of
trying to poison the children? I mean, unless it like puts them down for a nap, then.
I think. Like,
But it's
yeah, go ahead.
no, but it's like that's so stupid. Like as though like he's like violating them in some way other than like
Yeah, he's violating
'Cause my
their
parents
rights
were-
to not eat mushrooms.
because my parents like
They'll remember
like
this
I
when they're
thought I didn't like
25.
deer until like my mom made this stew beef one time that was like it tasted different, but it was amazing. And they waited until I finished the plate, and they were like, "Did you like that?" I was like, yeah, that was awesome.
Oh yeah,
They're
my
like,
family used to do that all the
yeah,
time.
they were like, that was deer, and I wasn't like,
oh my god.
like no, dude. I was like, oh shit, I actually like deer.
My response
like,
when I was younger was always because I never liked onions, and I still don't. Like when the crunch of I
yeah,
don't like
texture.
them. I just
I
something
love
about
the
it.
taste of onions.
And anytime they'd ask me, because they'd always be like, there was mushrooms or there was onion in that meatloaf, and I'm
You're
like,
like, cool.
so?
I hate when they do that.
And it's like I don't care if I can't tell
mean,
it's
it's
there. I
cheesy,
don't give a
sure.
shit.
Yeah.
Well, I hate when
but-
they're trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
You know,
They're
like,
your
I told
parent.
you you
You're
like
gonna
it.
do that with your kids.
Yeah.
So,
well,
Yeah.
It-
so I guess to
I
me,
will never strain out mushrooms.
I make them try
yeah,
it.
because that's crazy.
I make them try it, but once they try it and dislike it, I'm like, all right, then you don't have to eat it. I don't give a shit.
Can what was there? I know sometimes they have like an update or a final like most people voted one way or the other. Was there?
Most people here said not the asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
obviously.
makes sense.
I mean, the other thing also is
Food is so subjective in the way you prepare it,
Everything.
what it's seasoned
Everything,
with.
dude.
someone said, as someone who has hated mushrooms with a fiery passion their whole life, when I found out my mom has always blended some up for her Thanksgiving stuffing that I love, I admit my ego was a bit bruised. Ultimately, I learned a valuable lesson.
I think if your ego's bruised from mushrooms,
Think,
grow the fuck up.
Seek a therapist.
Yeah.
Things,
So there's
even-
two things here that can. Oh, go ahead.
No, here's big dog.
that
Oh.
things, even foods, aren't black and white. There's a finely blended
Yeah.
mushroom gray area, and that's okay. There's no vegan, vegetarian, moral issue here, and I'm glad my mom tricked me, as I definitely would have refused to eat it as
Yeah.
a kid if
Yeah.
I knew. So
Yeah.
I'm going with not the asshole.
And it's like if you do it and then they still are like, I don't like this. I can taste the mushrooms. All right. Then,
Yeah.
then you fucking.
Then
never
you're
do it
like,
again.
oh, my bad.
well,
be
also,
like, all right, now
I
we
hate
know.
mushrooms, but I love beef stroganoff, and that's
Same,
used
yeah.
with cream
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
mushroom soup.
That is
My-
cream of mushrooms.
That
That
is
is the entire base of
My
it.
aunt
Yeah.
used to get this pizza from this pizza place down the street where we used to live, and it was like I think chicken marsala pizza, where it has like mushrooms on it and stuff. And I always used to pick off the mushrooms because of the texture. But God, the flavor on that pizza was so good, dude.
Yeah, right.
It was delicious.
You've been chambering this. Go for it.
I've been trying, but like I just keep getting railroads, so I kind of like gave up a little bit. But anyways, so there's two things I have here. Is one, if the kids were fine with the cream of mushroom, even it being strained,
Yeah.
then why even strain it, right? But I
Yeah,
will say,
yeah, true.
there is a difference between fresh mushrooms and mushrooms in a can.
True.
Yeah. I mean, any
Right?
veggies,
Well,
And
that
like
goes back to
veggies,
what I was
anything.
saying, like preparation.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that is.
How is it
You know,
prepared?
I mean, the mushroom is just I will agree. The texture is ass out of mushrooms in a can. If you actually have a normal like a portobello or something, it's slimy and it's got like a weird texture, which I
No.
understand where the
I hate
kids are
all
coming
mushroom
from
textures.
on that.
Same.
So like blending it, it doesn't bother them. They like the flavor of the cream. That's the whole purpose of cream
Yeah.
of mushroom. It's not you don't
They're-
buy the
well, they're enjoying it.
yeah.
You're mad that they're. I think
Well,
this
yeah.
sounds like the mom's mad that they're enjoying his more than hers.
Well, it also
I could
says
see
that
that.
they love cream of mushroom soup, so they know it's cream of
Yeah,
mushroom. It's
so-
not like she's
Yeah, it's not like,
tricking
hey,
them.
this is
yeah.
cream of the
And you mean to tell me
jackass.
she's straining every piece of like,
That is so
especially like
extra.
candles where like the mushrooms are like bits, right?
I
You mean to
have no
tell me
idea.
that there's no settlement at the
Oh,
end,
sorry.
at the bottom of that can?
She's just well. The thing is, 9 times out of 10, if you're pulling cream of mushroom out of a can, it's literally just a glop of gel.
Yeah.
Like it's just like a.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. She's cheating on him. Get a divorce.
Yep. You're
Well,
the
my
asshole.
other thing is
Yeah.
if that's the only thing they're fighting about, like
That's
good
that-
for
yeah, it
them.
could
be
Good
exactly.
for
It
them.
could be.
you
That's what I'm
know?
saying,
If
like-
that's their fight of the month.
bro, I just find that so.
I just can't, I can't believe
just
that she
like-
went to
like-
Reddit over mushroom
No,
soup.
I'd be like, you know, if
isn't
she,
that what marriage
bro, if she,
is?
no, if
Like-
she,
Running to Reddit to
Bro,
complain about your
if
significant
I had
other
if I
because
had
of
a
their
partner
soup.
that came to me and they were like, I can't believe you've done this, I'd be like, either leave or I'm leaving you. Like I'm not having this. This is
It's
the
like,
dumbest
we're
conversation
not
we could be
having a weekly Reddit story because I denied your
Yeah,
mushrooms.
yeah. It's like skill issue. Quit being mid.
Okay. Well, so we're all in agreement.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, he's not the asshole.
Not the
Unanimous.
asshole here. Okay. All right. Next one.
I'm upset.
Yep.
For
I
him.
I can tell.
Next one is also food based. I guess I was hungry last night. Am I the asshole for refusing to remove certain foods from my house because my husband's friend is allergic? My husband and I recently moved into the same city as his childhood best friend, Steve. Steve
It's
is
always a Steve.
Yeah, Steve is allergic to all nuts, legumes, and soy. Because of this,
Jesus.
my husband
Can
wants our
Steve
house.
live outside?
Yeah, like Steve, you're on your fucking own, my dude.
Because of this, my husband wants our house to have a rule that we're not to have nuts in the house in case he comes over. In case he comes over. I think this is a dumb rule and refuse to comply. I did agree to keep my nut-based products in a separate container, but my husband thinks that this is not enough. I'm allergic to wheat, and we still have it in the house. I also think it's unnecessary. I don't know the extent of Steve's allergies, but I do know it's not immediately life-threatening, as he doesn't carry an EpiPen, and he also works in food service and frequently handles nuts. Being in the same room is not going to hurt him. As long as we don't serve him food with nuts and watch for cross-contamination, we should be fine. The foods that Steve is allergic to are a big part of my diet. Also, this is where I live, not Steve, so I feel like I shouldn't have to cater to the possibility that he might come over at some point in the future. But my husband is worried
He's
he'll
fucking Steve.
He's got to be fucking
Divorce!
Steve, dude. There's no...
He's fucking Steve.
But my husband is worried he'll accidentally cause his friend to have an allergic reaction if we don't keep the entire house free of allergens.
Send your husband to serve safe
this
training.
man,
let
like,
this man
something.
learn
So-
about foodborne
so
allergies.
the-
How
God.
often is Steve coming over? That's what I want to know.
That's one thing. I'm assuming though, if she's allergic to wheat, that's celiac disease, like which can like, depending on the person, can be like, oh, my tummy's a little upset, to like projectile vomiting.
Right.
Um,
or hives or
It can
anaphylactic
it can
shock.
be very it's like lactose intolerance, right? It can be very basic, like, ooh, I'm a little gassy, till like, dear God, hot lava is flowing out of me. But no, if the husband isn't concerned about her
right.
and still keeps wheat in the house, but like he works in food. Everything has like, bro. You look
It's
at
just
it has
something's
that
missing
thing,
here.
like processed in the same plants that contain nuts, soy, milk. Like you
Egg,
know, as
they
much
all
as you cook,
dairy,
I know
dude.
you've seen that, right? So like the idea that this man works in food and everything he probably touches has soy in it or nuts in it.
Soy is huge. Soy is
No,
in
it's a filler.
so much stuff.
There's probably soy in this right now. It's a foam.
You think he's blaming Steve, but he just has a weird phobia of nuts?
No, I think he likes Steve's nuts.
So like, because I'm trying to think
Honey
of
roasted.
like, I feel that's
roasted
like
Steve.
the way this is dancing around Steve. It seems like there's something going on with Steve and him, but why would them fucking have anything to do with there being nuts in the closet of their pantry?
So at the end of the day, wouldn't this all just be solved if the husband's this concerned with pleasing Steve when Steve does come over? Buy a fucking EpiPen.
Well, that's
Buy-
because-
Keep it at the house.
Go to
Why is
Steve's
it there
house.
you go.
Go to Steve's house. But like that, how often is Steve coming around?
Well, that's what she said. The possibility of Steve coming over in the future.
Like,
How long have they known?
is he
Steve?
dating Steve and he's like debating if he's gonna introduce him to
Yeah.
his wife? Like,
There's no update here.
I would love to hear Steve's perspective on this. Does Steve
Does Steve care or no?
Yeah, that's the thing. Does Steve know that this is an argument? Because like if Steve didn't know and he came in and she
he's
was
like,
like,
you got some nuts?
yeah, well if he was like, hey, like you guys don't eat nuts or anything like that, and it's like, oh well, out of your safety we don't. And he's like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. It's like, I work in food safety.
I
Yeah.
would love to see that. Just Steve comes over, and he's like, bro, I took care of it. There's no nuts in
Steve's
the
like-
house, no wheat. I took care of it all. And
No,
he's
there
like,
is
No,
wheat in
the
the house.
wheat- he
The
keeps
wife is
wheat.
allergic to the wheat.
The wife's
it was
yeah,
nuts.
the wife's
It was
allergic to
nuts
wheat.
and what else?
He's allergic to
Soy
nuts,
and nuts.
legumes, and soy.
He's like, bro, no soy, no nuts, no legumes. I cleaned house.
So when he goes to like a barbecue, does he just eat coleslaw all day?
Can you even eat coleslaw?
Yeah, the mayonnaise is usually made with soybean oil.
dude!
Is it?
Yeah, most mayonnaise is now because it's cheap. Everything's made with soy and corn because it's so cheap.
So does Steve just
Steve
I
lives
bet
his life
you-
in fear, and he's metal as fuck because
I
he
feel bad
doesn't
for
carry
Steve.
around an EpiPen.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
I think Steve's just looking for the easy way out.
I think you're right, though. I don't think Steve gives a fuck.
I don't think Steve knows.
I think my dude is making a big deal out of something that's not a big deal.
I feel like this is a way for him to. I don't know. This is like one of those weird like control things.
Yeah, that's
where
how
it's
it
like
feels.
I need to win this argument. And this matters to me. Like it doesn't matter to her. It doesn't matter to Steve.
It matters so little. We're gonna keep the whole wheat bread in the house. Fuck
but the
you.
fact that She is. I mean, she could actually just be allergic to wheat. Possibly, like it might not even be celiac. Maybe there is like an allergen that is just wheat. And like he's still just keeping whatever in the house that has wheat. That's crazy to me that you wouldn't take her into account at least just as much as him.
It sounds like he's trying to kill her and protect Steve's life so that when she dies,
they
Steve can swoop in.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is just the beginning of a crazy Netflix documentary.
God damn.
You have him watching too many murder documentaries
I know.
and
I
stuff.
started him on a few, and now his mind goes straight to
He choked
true
on
crime
Steve's
every
nuts.
time. Now you know what it's like.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we can
No,
relate
that-
because Maeve has a severe dairy allergy. I mean, she just
It's
erupts
so
in
stressful,
hives.
bro. It's
She-
so stressful.
And, like, she has her own EpiPen that we have to carry around everywhere. She's never even eaten it. We don't even know what would happen if she ate it. But when she touches it, her whole body just erupts in hives. But we still eat dairy. Like, even when I was breastfeeding, I still drank dairy and nothing happened to her. So we didn't know exactly what protein. But, I mean, even with, like, with Evie, like, she still eats dairy things around Maeve. Like, we don't stop everyone in the
it's
house.
like, you know, wash your hands after.
Yeah.
Well-
Hey, don't let Maeve touch it, you know?
I
But,
guess
like,
in my perspective too, at the end of the day, if he cares so little to not carry an EpiPen while also working in food,
Yeah.
why is
That's
it?
on
Why is
him.
it?
That's
yeah.
huge.
yeah. Why
Ain't you
why are you
problem.
making a big deal of it when he obviously is not?
It's also just like if Steve's never come over before, why do
No, because they're always
why
going
are
to
they
Steve's house.
preparing for Steve to come over in the future
Yeah.
at some point ever?
So I feel like we're missing a part of the story. I feel,
Yeah,
I feel like there's
something
a chunk.
happened here. I have a feeling like my man shared a Snickers with Steve one time,
Right,
and almost killed him.
Yeah, hey, you
yeah,
want
there's
some, bro?
trauma that he needs to
Yeah.
go
Something
through.
happened.
No, he's the asshole. She's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
I
much
agree.
all the comments are like, why
Unanimous.
does he care about Steve's allergy but not about your allergy?
Yeah.
No, that's literally the
That's-
first thing that jumped out at me.
Yep.
It's like, why does Steve's allergies matter more than yours?
That's
yeah,
wild.
that is super odd.
And
'Cause-
then not the asshole. Tell your husband to go hang
It's
out at
Scuba
Steve's
Steve, dude.
nutless
It's
house.
Damn you. I
Yeah,
You got to
unanimous.
protect Scuba
that's
Steve.
I don't
man.
know, man. Yeah, that seems like a weird control thing,
Mm-hmm.
or he's fucking Steve.
Yeah.
It's just very, very weird.
Ooh, this one looks meaty.
Cheater. Pay,
I know,
I
right?
can't read
Look
it.
at your own work.
Yeah, get
I know,
outta
right?
here.
He's just sneaking over my
Yeah.
shoulder. This is
Damn.
spoiling
Forming
yourself.
opinions where we even get a chance to hear it.
All right. All right. This is, am I the asshole for not waking my wife up and letting her sleep the whole day? All right. Using a
Oh.
throwaway account for obvious reasons. A lot of these,
No. So I got a feeling this one's going to take a turn, brother.
here we
a lot of
All
these,
right.
they start off with that, like, this is my throwaway account, so my wife never reads this.
Okay, so far he let her sleep all day. He didn't wake her up.
She told him, is it going to be, she told him to wake her up after 30 minutes, and he was like, no, I'm going to be the good guy and let her sleep all day.
Yeah.
But she had shit to do.
I will read the story.
All right.
Just a quick background info. My wife, Heather,
My wife.
36 female, and I, 35 female, have been together for 14 years and married for 10.
Okay.
We have 2
Oh, they're
daughters.
so unhappy. Go ahead. Sorry.
Wow.
I mean, they're complaining on Reddit.
We have 2 daughters.
With the throwaway account.
4 and
That is not an open communication.
No.
We have 2 daughters, 4 and 6 years old together. Heather is a doctor, and she works ridiculously long hours, gets tired, etc. Yesterday, she came home after being away all day. She was on call and needed to go in for emergency surgery and told me she was going to sleep for a couple of hours and asked me to wake her up by dinner so she could see the girls.
You
in my
done
bed.
fucked up, AA Ron.
She slept around 5 p.m., and I tried to wake her up at 7. I called for her, softly shook her, gave her a kiss on the cheek, but she did not get up. She is a very light sleeper, and these things wake her up 90% of the time. I thought she needed the rest, and I let her sleep. Heather's...
It's like I lightly tapped and kissed him on the cheek. Be like, wake up, bitch! You got somewhere to be.
Yeah. You're a doctor.
Wake up!
Heather slept until the next morning, which is when she needed to go.
You're the next morning.
Bro.
So she
So
missed
she-
the whole day.
So she wanted a couple hour nap, but she slept like 14 hours.
Well,
Oh
if she's
my
a doctor though
God,
and doing
dude.
surgeries and stuff, depends. I mean, she
Yeah,
might be
no.
doing ER stuff.
She
It kind of sounds like she's on
crashed,
call.
She crashed.
So like usually they work crazy hours. It's like 12 to 12, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude.
if not longer.
I
actually.
understand why
Oh, yeah.
she slept like that. But
Heather was very upset the following morning, saying I should have woken her up and that I had caused her to miss an entire day of family time. I explained that she didn't get up, and she said I should have just tried harder to wake her.
Yeah.
I get that she wants to be present in our family, and she is. And she wants our kids to see both their moms, but I just wanted to let her get some much-needed sleep to help her be well-rested for the next day. Was I genuinely the asshole here?
You know what? I'm actually going to say yes.
Yeah, it's
Because
like,
gay.
I'm going no.
Really?
Okay.
I'm 50-50, but yeah, I want to hear.
Yeah.
So like to me, right? Like I'm one of those people where I would, if I go in, I try to wake you up, and you don't wake up, like
Lightly.
I'm not going to rock the bed and be like, get the fuck out of the bed.
No,
it's time to go. No, I'm going to let you sleep and get the rest, because obviously if you didn't wake up lightly and you're a light sleeper, right, then you need that sleep, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it is one day, and the more that I am learning about sleep and how important it is for
very
a daily
important.
routine.
Women
No, it's
also need
incredibly-
more sleep than men.
Yeah.
Or I guess they're both women, but women still need more sleep.
But like I personally would just be like, no, sorry you missed out on that day. It sucks, but I'm glad that you're well rested, now, right? Like, and you're functioning, because at the end of the day, like, if so, all right, scenario here. She woke her up, right? She only got 4 hours of sleep. Then she had to go to work the next day. She goes pulled into surgery, and she makes a mistake because she's fatigued, because she didn't get the rest that she was supposed to actually get, because she wanted to try to fit in family time with a 4-hour sleep schedule.
But to counteract that, one, that is a hypothetical. Two,
Agreed. Yeah.
she wanted to take a couple-hour nap, which means after she woke up, she would have had the entire day to
And
spend with
then
the family,
could have gone
and
to
then gone to
sleep
bed
for
at
night.
night.
Well, she went to bed at 5 p.m.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
She tried to wake her up at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So
So
I
it's
mean,
like she just
so
wanted
say
to
they
nap
go
before dinner.
to bed, or say they go to bed 11, 12 o'clock, and she wakes up at 8 or 9 the next day to go into work.
Yeah.
Then she would have had 4 or 5 hours of family time and still would have got a full night's sleep that she would have needed.
Yeah.
So no, like I feel like
I would
It's
be
one of
mad.
those things like you got, like, if they say they want to be woken up. First off, you're an adult, get an alarm.
Yeah, agreed.
So like on that end, grow up a little bit, even though you're a fucking doctor. But it's one of those, like, if they say, hey, like, wake me up just in case the alarm doesn't work, like, wake them up, dude. Like that whole, like, I kissed him on the cheek and I rocked him like, hey, wake the fuck up!
No, I will
They want
say,
some goddamn SpaghettiOs.
I agree with him on that, though, where it's like, if I will wake you up, and if you tell me, no, I'm going to go to sleep, like, I will literally get confirmation from that person.
Wake them up and be like, you know what?
Are you getting up? Do you want to get up right now?
Yes, that.
Like Bree will let me like, if I'll tell Bree to wake me up, sometimes she'll let me sleep, but she never does it when like I have something important to do. You know, it's usually like I'm just like, I just don't want to like sleep long, and I'm just like, if I'm not up in like an hour or two, just wake me up. But if it's like she can tell I'm dead and like there's nothing important, she'll just let me
I mean, but that's what I'm saying, though. I'm not downplaying family time, saying that's not important, right? But in this scenario, right?
Well, I mean, she's a doctor though, which means she
she
already has
doesn't see that.
incredibly
She doesn't
limited
see the
family
kids
She ain't
time.
seeing the
I
kids
would
often.
assume.
And they're
like,
only, what you
it's
say,
very-
like 4 and
They're
6.
4 and 6.
So they're going to bed at like 9 o'clock anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Which
those
means
2
she would only got
hours-
2 hours
Would have
with
had
them.
2 hours with the kids.
Well, it's like rough going home. Like, he leaves here at 7
It would
to,
be
do
like
bath time and
so
bedtime.
right, an example, right? Like, you know, I have Maeve, who I see every day, but like Evie, right? I get her every 2 weeks or in the summer a little bit more frequently. But in that instance, like, you know, maybe I'm exhausted on, a Friday after work, right? And I'm just like, I just need like an hour. That, like, because I see her so infrequently, it's like that hour with her is like, that's really important.
I mean,
So, like-
even in the case of like last night, like he didn't get home till 8, and
Yeah.
Maeve goes to bed at 8.
Yeah.
But last night she went to bed at 9.
Yeah.
Because like
Right.
that 1 hour is like so important, because like she's a year and a half now, and like it goes by so fast that like you do not want to miss out on that time, especially if you only see your kids for 1 hour, 2 hours a day for 5 days a week. Like, it's for a lot of people that's like a really big deal.
I feel like it could go either way if we heard the other person's story, in the sense of like how lightly did she try?
Well,
you know
how-
what I mean? Like, was it like a,
Yeah, I hate shit
because
like
that would
that
piss me
too.
off. But if she was like, hey, wake up, and it's like, hey,
I'm
hey,
annoyed
it's
when
like,
people try to wake me
all
up gently. Just wake me
Oh
up.
no, I usually I'm like, babe,
It just
Yeah.
progressively
Hey,
gets
yeah.
louder.
get up. Hey, baby's awake. Baby's awake.
It used to be
Maybe that's a
helpful.
trauma response. That I'd be rather be woken up by something loud than someone being like, "Hey, champ, put on your shoes. We're at grandma's house." Like, the fuck is that? Like, that is some creepy shit. But no, I see, the thing is, like, I've seen, and I feel like she's probably seen a lot of it too. Like, a lot of times when you're in a relationship and the other person's a doctor, there's always the fight that person doesn't make family time because they're a doctor or something and they work long hours. So it genuinely, I want to hear the other lady's perspective.
I would love to hear the other person's perspective.
If part of their arguments are you don't make enough time for the family because of your schedule, and then after
you
she
let
was like,
them sleep?
then she was like, wake me up so I can spend time with the family, and then she didn't wake her up. It's like,
and I'm telling
I
you,
agree.
and I would, if I had to bet, if I was a betting man, okay, I'm betting that's the case because they're on Reddit on a fucking burner account.
Yeah, she didn't want to reply by the significant other on that. You know what? She's
You're
the asshole.
both assholes.
No, she's the asshole.
Yeah.
Why are they both assholes?
No, she's the asshole.
Yeah, no.
Well, wait, if somebody wants you to wake them up,
Just
wake them up.
wake 'em
But
up.
also get a fucking alarm. Like, you're a doctor.
Yeah, I get that, but also like the times where he's been like wake me up, he didn't set an alarm. He just, I mean, it's a favor you're asking of your significant other. I would get it if it's like, you know,
Still though, it's
work.
like
I said alarms
it's like
in the
phone
mornings,
open,
but-
If it's
clock,
for work.
alarm, done.
Yeah,
Done.
no, you ain't wrong.
But I mean, even when I take naps and I'm like, I'll like on the weekends, when he takes the bulk of taking care of the kids, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go take a nap for like 2 hours, and usually I'll set a timer on my phone. But man, that timer just gets extended.
Well, it's
See, mine is, I don't even do that. Like when I take a nap, which is very infrequently.
Yeah.
It's usually just like I need like a few minutes to myself to just lay down. But
It's the quiet more than the actual
problem is
sleep.
like it's like that reminder just in case I fall asleep when I didn't mean to. You know, I just want to rest for 10 minutes, but I might fall asleep.
I think all of us have taken those naps where it's like, I'm asleep for 30 minutes.
And
And
then
then it's like
you
6
wake
hours
up at
later,
2
and you
in
feel
the
like you
fucking
time
morning.
traveled. Yeah, and you're like, whoa, what?
Dude, I woke up.
You're like
I
crazy
woke,
dehydrated.
I woke up on the
Yep.
couch one day at like 3:34 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I got home at like
and now your
7,
sleep
and
schedule's
just I
fucked.
don't
Yeah,
even
that
don't
is
even
true.
remember going to sleep. It was just like, how the fuck? When did this happen?
Yeah.
Like,
Because now you're trying to make up for like those hours where you're like, okay, I woke up at 4 a.m. now, and like I'm awake.
Yeah.
And I have to be at work in 7 hours. Like, say that she does work like a 12 to 12. Like, all of a sudden, she's got to be up 7-8 hours before she goes in for a 12-hour shift or some shit, bro. Like, no.
you're probably gonna start getting tired before your shift, and
See,
at that point, it's too late to nap.
That's another thing. Like he said, like there's
Oh,
more.
yeah.
I feel like there's
We're
always
missing
like
something.
there's like context here.
I feel like
But-
their sleep schedule would be all out of whack.
Yeah, it's already fucked because you're a doctor and a surgeon at that.
That
like,
too.
Just wake people up.
yeah, no,
Do
she's the asshole.
Don't be a dick.
So Reddit actually disagrees.
Really?
Yeah, Reddit actually says there's no assholes in this situation.
Nah, you
Neither
can't
of
play
them.
both sides.
No, yeah.
Fuck you, Reddit. You're wrong.
That's a real liberal response.
Not, not the assholes.
There's very good people on both sides.
She's upset she didn't get to spend time with her family, and that's reasonable. Being under the impression she must need more sleep when you couldn't get her up is also reasonable. Someone who is half dead from
But
exhaustion
that's not your decision.
isn't at
Yeah.
their best for either their family or their patients.
There it is.
You can be there for your family if you're tired, though. Like, bro, if I didn't hang out with my family every time I was tired, I would just never hang out with them.
Yeah, I wouldn't even see y'all.
Like when I have Maeve in the morning on the fucking
wouldn't even be
weekends,
here.
You think I enjoy being up at 6, 7 in the morning?
I woke up this morning to come here. Fuck that
It's
shit.
like don't get me wrong, I love that. Like a lot of the time she'll sleep in, sometimes on the weekends late, but like I don't like being up at 7 a.m.
I'm
It just
tired
sucks.
now.
Yeah,
I'm up at 7 a.m. every day.
yeah, it sucks. I'm sure you would prefer to sleep
Yeah,
longer too.
I get up at 8 to go to the gym. Like, you think I would? I wouldn't want
Wow.
to just like wake up at 10 to like and just stroll in here, bro.
I just like I don't understand the
Fuck
weird
that.
perfection thing of like you need to be at your best for everything. You don't.
No,
That's why
you
why
need to be present.
That's why
Well,
people don't accomplish things.
If you're given medical advice
I mean, that, yeah.
to
no,
someone, though,
yes, I agree. The medical stuff is
I
different.
think we're
But-
talking
but-
about playing catch with Jimmy.
But I think I mean I think it's like what Sean said.
not taking out the appendix.
But I think it's like what Sean said. Is it seems like she still would have gotten a full night's sleep, right? She
Yeah.
would have gotten woken up.
If she
been
woke up
for
the
a
next
few hours,
morning-
went back to bed, and it's like I feel like people are not realizing.
she just needed that reset.
It's like no, she still was gonna get a full night's sleep. She just got more hours than intended.
But that can really mess someone up.
What?
Like, you can oversleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that, like, just your whole day gets screwed up.
I
because
guess
of
it.
that.
I guess what I would like to know is more about her the past 3 days about her work, like what her
Yeah.
work has looked like those
Right.
past 3 days. If she's been working swing shifts for the past like week,
Yeah.
and like coming home getting maybe 5-6 hours of sleep, and then
Yeah.
going to work the next day and just down to bare bones, and it's like your partner will see that, right? Like,
yeah, they'll see it.
they'll
yeah.
be like, okay, you know
Well-
what? I'm gonna try to wake you up. If you're not waking up, I'm just gonna let you sleep.
I need to know if this has happened before though, because if it's
Yes.
happened before
Oh, yeah.
and they have communicated,
Yeah.
wake me up. I want to be awake after 2 hours, and they're like, I'm just gonna let them rest. Like, no, you are an asshole. Like,
it's
you
like we've
think
had
you're
this
being the good guy, and you're not.
Yeah.
Like, that's some real incel shit for a lesbian.
So one of the wow. Someone said, not the asshole. She's not upset with you, my dear. She's stressed from work, and it's making her a
No,
little.
she's
She's
upset,
upset
with
with
you
you.
because you caused her stress.
It's making her a little resentful that she's taking care
Damn.
of.
So
Dude,
even someone
they're
on Reddit
be-
be
they're
like, maybe
becoming
she's
that-
just on her
dude,
period.
That is wild.
So they're saying
Also the asshole.
they're saying that she's projecting. Is
They're
basically
saying
what it
that
is.
they worked in healthcare before most of their working life, and they've had the exact same argument with their partner. The only thing getting through their shift.
Their partner's
sometimes-
also an asshole.
Well, the
I'm
only
surrounded
thing-
by assholes.
It's one of those things that, I guess this is also a good point, to get through their entire workday. It's like, I got to go home to my family. I just got to get through the day, and I'll get home to my kids. And, as a doctor, I'm sure there's, like, some cases that, like, really want you to see your kids. Like, kids are hard.
Every time I've seen like an actual reality show that like genuinely followed real doctors, like
Yeah.
they would get home and it would just be like with the husband or the wife, partner, whatever. There would just be like this tension of like, you're
Yeah.
always gone. I'm
Yeah.
always here. Like, we got to figure something else out better. And like, you just be like, and that would be the relationship. So the idea that it sounds like they wanted to be present in
Yeah.
like in the day with them, like that actually bothers me.
Yeah.
Because like as someone who's like, we're very busy.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
like our job, we ain't saving lives here, but like it's still a job. It's that idea. Like, yeah, you get like that hour when you go home, and like
Yeah.
if you miss that hour, I mean, we have like a hard cut where you're like, I got to leave.
Well,
Yeah.
it's one of those examples of like yes, right? Like we run the channel, we set hours to an extent, but like we don't get to do whatever we want, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, you guys run a company.
My
Yeah.
schedule obviously is dictated in a different way because I have 2 kids. You guys don't, right?
Yeah.
And it when you run especially a fucking doctor where they got hundreds of motherfuckers working in that goddamn building, like it's not like you guys will never be expected to work on my schedule because I have kids. You guys don't have kids. That wouldn't be right of you guys to have to work around somebody else's
Yeah.
kid's schedule, right? It doesn't make any fucking sense. So it's like, yeah, like they're fucking unfortunate, but like somebody's got to work at the hospital
Yeah.
at
yeah,
night.
I don't know. That's like, once again, that is the intricacies of different people's relationships are tough because like we don't know the fights that happened before,
Right.
the dynamic of the relationships anyway. It's especially if this has happened before.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
even worse.
Yeah.
I'm just on the side of just wake
Wake them up.
Just wake them up.
Like, how hard is it to just do what they asked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's. I
They're
feel like
adult.
that's what it comes
I
down
will
to.
smack the shit
is
out of y'all
like-
if y'all don't wake up and you told me to wake you up.
Please.
If you're, I mean,
I think there was
even
one
just,
time
Sounds
I
great.
was hitting you with a pillow at one of the conventions in the hotel because like
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
especially when you guys got.
Well,
business
especially when we get
meetings
back
and
to the hotel
stuff.
at 5, 6 in the morning.
Right.
there was one time
So we
like
got to be up in 2 hours.
me and Scope were like walking around, waking everyone up because like we were always the Thunder Dads who would just like
Yeah.
randomly
Yeah.
we would just pick up stragglers and just be like,
the
all right, come stay at the
Thunder
hotel with
Dads.
us.
Are you 6 a.m. tourist dad?
Yeah.
Like you're on
Yeah, he
vacation
is.
and you wake up
Oh,
an hour and a half
no, he
earlier than
totally
normal.
Would be
No,
too.
when we went to Disney, Eric was like always up early. Like,
yeah.
like he'd be the one to be like, "You guys coming?"
Yeah.
Like by the time we'd get down there, he would have already made it to the breakfast buffet.
Hell yeah.
Had a plate. Had a whole ass conversation with the wait staff,
I
and
vibe,
is telling
dude.
us
He's got everything we need,
asked
like,
them,
in his
asked them
bag.
questions about like, oh, where do we go for this? What do you recommend here? And he'd have a whole fucking idea of plans
You'd have
ready.
the whole
that he-
itinerary
yeah.
for the whole day.
He'd like interview the fucking wait staff before we even
That's
made it
because
down
they
to
work
breakfast.
there, dude. They know what's up. You gotta
Oh.
talk to the locals.
He talks to people more than anyone else I know. Everywhere we go, Eric is talking
Eric,
to
when
someone.
Yeah, no.
when we drank around the world at Disney, like Eric would just get into random conversations with random people. Like if somebody had to go to the bathroom, there was a 90% chance this now became a 15-minute bathroom break because Eric sparked up a conversation with
No,
random
every
granny
time like
number
we've
7.
gone somewhere, the three of us so far, and like he would start talking to people, and me and Ruff would be like in the background, like his fucking kids. Just being like, can we go home? Like,
That's the best
I don't
way
want
to
to be
describe
here
it.
anymore.
Eric met his, and then he met his soulmate in the Frozen not ride.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah,
That was great.
Anna.
Dude. Yeah, dude.
One day they'll
Anna was about
reunite.
it, man. I should have got her number.
No, she was flirting with him like a motherfucker.
Damn, you should have.
And we waited a
She was
long
a
time
princess.
for
You
that
should have got in
interaction.
there.
We waited so long.
Yeah, we
That
thought
was so
we
funny that
we thought it was a ride.
We could have had.
so-
Oh, it was a ride.
no, Sean, you don't understand. So we thought
He hyped this up.
we
he hyped it
got
up so
hyped,
much.
right? We were on the hive. I think it might have been Frozen
It's a
2 or
new
something.
ride.
I was like, new ride, fuck, because there's not a lot of rides
Right.
in
It was like a
Epcot.
35-minute
Epcot.
wait.
Epcot. Epcot.
No, I think there's like one maybe. Like in Epcot, there's very few rides because it's mostly food, drinks, stores.
Right,
Just,
right.
You're
Cramp
going around the
hurts
world.
to laugh.
And we saw one, and we're like, "Oh fuck yeah, dude, let's
Hydrate.
go!" Because we're wasted, you know.
Yeah.
And there is the one ride in Mexico where you just kind of go through the water tunnel, and we thought it was gonna be like that: sit down, chill, and
Yeah.
just get to see some Frozen stuff. And we're waiting in line, and we're going, and there's no line, and we just keep, you know, because they set the shit up
Because of
for
the
like
deaths.
Well, they set it up for like 1 million people to line up, right?
Sure.
So it's dead. We're going through. We finally get to the line. Now at this point, we're in too deep. There's people behind us. We can't turn and go back.
Oh, God.
Oh no, we tried to turn and go back. When we walked
we?
into the room, like the photographer lady was like, "All right, come on in for your pictures." I was
You're
like,
like,
"Pictures? What the fuck do you mean
'cause
pictures?"
we got to the end and it was just we were surrounded by children. And when
Yeah.
I said children, I mean like Maeve's height children. And we found out it wasn't a ride. It was to get your picture taken with Anna and Elsa.
Oh my God, that's embarrassing.
so there's like what we had Wickeds with us. So there's
Yeah.
5 grown adults at just take a picture
with one girl too. It was just Bree,
Yeah.
right? It was
Yeah.
it was only Bree, and it was just like 4 grown men.
Dude, bro.
And Eric just starts macking on Anna, and bro, like she was flirting
No,
with him.
no.
If I could slay a princess, I'll slay a princess. I'm
can,
just saying.
Can I just throw this out there that the fact there was 5 gentlemen and 1 female, she may have been flirting with you, but she definitely thought the rest of you were gay. She was like, "No,
Valid.
I'm completely safe here. These are just some very nice gentlemen."
She's
looking
like, if I have to gamble, one of them may be the rest gay.
yeah. You got the designated straight, and it's this guy, but I'm pretty safe around the rest of these dudes.
All right.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
next
dude,
one.
that's one off the bucket list right there. Slaying a princess, deal.
Hell
you
yeah,
still haven't done it yet. So
I know. I failed that mission.
you did.
missed opportunity, bro.
Disappointed.
It's hard to get hired.
Yo,
guns,
they're
you know?
easy too, because she was going to marry that dude after having like one conversation. with
Yeah,
You're not wrong, dude.
they fall
I
in
missed
love
my
real quick.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Crap.
All right. Am I the asshole for calling a girl over dramatic when she was
Oh man.
I can't wait for this.
I love
This
where
might
this
be
is
my
starting.
favorite one
Here
already.
we go.
Am I the asshole for calling a girl over dramatic when she was crying after rear-ending me? Last weekend, I attended my brother's college graduation. After the ceremony, I found the rear of my trunk had been hit. The other driver was still there. She was an 18-year-old who was crying hysterically while her mom tried to calm her down. The girl apologized profusely and said she had overestimated how much room she had to back out and hit my car. I wasn't upset because mistakes happen. I asked if she had insurance, and she was too worked up to answer. So I turned to her mom, and she said yes, they'd go get it, as well as call the police so there could be an official report for the insurance company. Cool. The girl was still really worked up. I told her, it's fine, don't worry about it, I'm not upset, and accidents happen. She's still a mess when the cops show up. I found this a little overdramatic and admittedly rolled my eyes. I obviously don't know this girl, but it was beginning to feel like she was trying to manipulate her way out of trouble, even though the cop and I both said these things happen and that the insurance would likely take care of it. Eventually, the police left. I told the girl to calm down, it's over, and stop being dramatic. Then I got in my car and was ready to leave. My sister was with me the whole time. She said I was unnecessarily mean to the girl. I said she was being overdramatic for no reason, especially as no one yelled at her the entire time. My sister pointed out this girl is likely a new driver, probably worried she ruined whoever she was there to celebrate, etc. Plus, she's probably worried about her rates going up. Or maybe she has anxiety or whatever.
Or maybe her mom hits her. Like,
Yeah.
Or maybe she has anxiety or whatever.
Yeah.
Even if she was trying to
No.
manipulate with tears, I didn't have to be a dick. I shrugged it off and let it go. So far, her insurance has been cooperative, and it seems like this will all be resolved rather quickly. The subject came up at the party we had for my brother. Most of my family thought I was being a dick, though some agreed she needed to calm down. Am I the asshole?
yes. As soon as he said anxiety or whatever,
Yeah.
he's the asshole. Like he's brushing out the idea of like don't know. Might she have been manipulating? Sure. Was it going to work? Because once the mom was like, yeah, we're calling the cops. Like to get the the insurance. Like the mom was already handling the situation. So him being a dick to her just because he was getting annoyed at her.
Yeah.
He's a dick.
I think it's just like she was annoying, you were the asshole. Because it's like,
Yeah.
yo, I totally get the idea. Like the crying in the initial thing, especially 18, new driver, like, oh my God, like not knowing how it's going to go, what to expect, totally understandable. You know, the cops, yo, it happens, chill, it's all good. And then continuing to like bawl your eyes, I was like, all right, I can understand somebody being annoyed. You know, just like, can we just get over?
Well, she's probably scared. She was in a car accident.
She's probably
Yeah,
having
exactly.
a panic
So
attack.
like, I get the idea of being annoyed by it, but
Yeah.
like, you don't gotta snap at the person. Like, who cares?
I mean, rolling
Just-
your eye. Like,
Yeah, it's like, all right,
you're a
what-
grown man rolling your eyes at a teenage girl
Yeah.
crying. Like, brother, like, grow
I
up.
think it comes down to experience for her, right?
Yeah,
like,
this is probably her first
her
accident.
It's her first
yeah.
accident.
Yeah.
It's a very shocking, jarring event.
Mm-hmm.
Where like being an adult, we have shocking, jarring events happen all the fucking
Yeah.
time now, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh great.
Oh, we're
But
mil- we're-
the first
millennials,
one's
dog.
always going to be traumatic, right? I
Yeah.
mean, think about like the first time you experience like the death of a loved one versus the 5th or 6th. Like it always still
You just
hurts,
get numb,
but like
you get
it's
more
Yeah.
and more numb.
yeah,
over that
it's
kind
like
of
Well,
stuff.
yeah,
it
it's
becomes
learning from
more
experience,
natural,
yeah.
right?
Well, I mean, and you don't know. The mom might have reamed her out like
Oh, yeah.
before the
oh, yeah,
guy
she could have
showed
been,
up.
like, scared.
So,
Yeah.
funny enough, I actually had a fun one of the only car accidents I've ever been in. I was like 17, and like I was driving my car, and there's a train going across the railroad, right? So like I was about 120 feet out from the railroad, and there was a car in front of me that was sitting there. So I was just like being a dumbass kid, threw the car in neutral. I was like, I'll just let it roll up. Fuck it. You know? Wasn't paying attention, and I just booped the car in front of me. Just booped it, right?
Yeah.
And this is near the train tracks.
And this was near the train tracks, right? Granted, I didn't like, it was in neutral. So like when my car hit, it just bounced off.
Right,
yeah,
Like there was
right.
nothing pushing my car forward. It was just kind of cruising. I hit the car maybe going like 10 miles an hour. Like it was a boop.
So they felt a jostle.
A little jostle, right? Lady gets out of the car, starts immediately panicking. What have you done? You hit my car. Call the police. And I'm like, hold on, let me look at the damage and see what's happening, right?
Right.
And at the time, I had like an old shitty Camaro. And like the whole front of the car is all fiberglass. So like if you hit anything, it spider cracks and this and that.
Oh, yeah.
So when I made contact with her car, it basically pushed a piece of my fiberglass about yay big inside the bumper.
Yeah.
That's the only damage that happened.
To
at all.
your car.
Yeah, no, to both cars.
Oh, okay.
Literally, because the way that it hit it, like my car just bounced off of it, so my car took all the hit because my car had neutral, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
the lady starts freaking out, calls the police, this and that. She's like, I want your insurance, blah, blah. I'm like, ma'am, there's no damage to your car. Like, I'm looking literally at your bumper where I made contact. There's nothing there. Well, you know, I'm going to report this. We're going to put a police report. So, like, the cop comes and he looks at my car. He goes, do you want to file this in your insurance? I'm like, no. He goes, I don't see any damage to her car. He's like, I can write a report for it. He goes, but there's
Yeah.
nothing for her to claim.
Yeah.
So, like...
Like if she took it into a body shop, they would be like, "Why are you here?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like I guess I can
Some
understand
people are like that.
Like
I
that
don't get it.
that overacting like
Yeah.
in her feelings, like where she's just like she's freaking out because she doesn't know what happened in the scenario.
Yeah.
She's just trying to be cautious. Where this lady, it was obvious she didn't know anything about cars. She's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
hit my car. I want to make sure everything's
This
all right.
is
It's
what
like,
I'm supposed to do.
I
Yeah.
understand, not a problem. And like I was very cordial
Yeah.
and nice with her, but I was just like, ma'am, I was like, there's no damage at all to your bumper.
Well,
like,
some people just don't even know like the process.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's what would be nerve wracking.
I mean, yeah. Well, this girl thought she was going to go to jail.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you know.
Like I've never been in an accident that I've caused. So like if I were to get in an accident today, like I would have to like read the back of my insurance card to figure
Yeah.
out like what to do because I don't know what to do. And so I think, and I would be a mess. Oh my God. And I'm 26 and I would be a mess. Like, yeah, I'm 26.
Forgot her age.
I had to remember how old I am.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just
But
wait.
The number only gets bigger from there.
When I was 17 and still in high school, and I had just gotten my license, I think I had just hit my 6 months. So I had people in the car with me. And I remember I was at a red light in front of my high school, and the car in front of me was calling me because it was lunchtime. So they had people in their car, I had people in my car, and they were calling me, and my Bluetooth of my car was not working. So I had to disconnect my phone from the Bluetooth, and I held it out here on voicemail, or not voicemail, on speakerphone to talk to them. Well, there was an undercover cop 2 cars ahead of me in the other lane, and he saw me with my phone out, and he pulled me over in my school parking lot in front of everybody and wrote me a ticket for being on my phone while driving. And this guy just reamed into me. This cop was just horrifically
Oh, you
rude
made
to
his
me.
day. He
Dude,
was
some cops
and-
are just assholes.
And I was just like, this 17-year-old, he tried to get me in trouble for having people in my car because he didn't read my license issue date correctly. He thought that my 6-month date was the day I got my license. And so he tried to write me up for that. And it was this whole thing. I was a mess. And I think that's also why he was getting pissed off, is because he had no patience with me as this girl who
Oh yeah, I mean, somebody that's gonna
A cop not de-escalating?
a cop that's
Crazy.
gonna show up, immediately escalate and start screaming at a kid because
And I had people in my car.
yeah,
and I still had these people in my car.
It's
and he didn't let them leave because he wanted to get their information too.
God, I hate when they
And
do
I was
that.
just like, dude, this is first of all embarrassing.
It's a power trip.
And second of all,
he's going on a power trip, and then because you're crying, he's mad because he it's just
Yeah.
amplified.
Yeah.
Well, because he realizes what they're doing at that point, and
Yeah.
And so I was that girl.
but they love it.
that
Yeah.
I could not control my emotions. In that moment, it's
You're scared.
It is like a panic attack,
Yeah.
or getting to be a panic attack, because you just don't know what your parents are going to say. You don't know what the consequences are going to be for your actions. In the back of my head, my parents were nowhere near verbally abusive to me or anything like that, but I was still panicking about how their reaction was going to be, because I was pretty much a good kid in their eyes, and I didn't want them to think oh my God, my kid's driving. Oh, also talking on a cell phone was
that was a no-no back
really
in the day.
big deal. I mean,
Yeah.
it still is.
Yeah.
But if my parents heard that I was talking on
To
my
an
cell phone while
extent.
driving, if I heard my kid was talking on a cell phone while driving, I would be
Well,
extremely disappointed.
she's 1.5. She shouldn't be driving.
Well, I mean, when they are of
Her
driving
Barbie car.
age.
Yeah.
You know,
she got her Barbie car and everything.
right. You know.
Teach her right.
But I don't know. It was just one of those things that if it's their first experience and they are obviously still a kid and those things are just so scary to them, have some damn patience.
No. As soon as he said anxiety or whatever,
Yeah.
that right there means he was brushing off immediately the idea
Oh,
that
yeah.
it could have been something more serious, and he was like she was trying to manipulate me with her tears.
Yeah.
All right, tough guy. Yeah, you win. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, the whole thing with
I
the
just
manipulation
can't
wasn't
imagine-
necessary. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine being that bothered. It's I get the idea of
Especially
being,
when the mom was handling it.
yeah,
That's
I
what I'm
get
saying.
I
There's
get
no
the
point in
idea of being
manipulation.
annoyed,
Yeah.
right? Nobody likes a traffic stop. Nobody likes having to deal with it. You get in an accident.
It's a time suck.
Everybody wants to just fucking here, cool, have a good day, bye. Right? I get the idea of can we just get this over with? But just fucking hold it in for 5 goddamn minutes until you're in your car.
Well, yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
once you get in your car with your sister, be like, that was a fucking mess, and roll your eyes and
Yeah.
shit then,
Yeah.
right?
Why make it worse? It's
Yeah.
do you really think that treating being negative to the person while they're already fucking hyperventilating basically
Yeah.
is what it sounds
That's
like.
just gonna make
That's
it
not gonna-
worse.
that's
No,
not gonna help.
it sounds like they were having a panic and or anxiety attack.
And then someone's acting like that towards you. That's just going to escalate how
Yeah, it's
you're
gonna make-
feeling.
I feel like Reddit's going to be on his side, though. I got this. I hope I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Yes.
They all voted him as asshole.
Yeah.
Humanity
Yep.
wins. Did he do an update then?
There was no update,
Damn it.
but most people just said she's 18. That is probably the most
Yeah,
legal
yeah.
financial trouble she's ever
Yeah.
been in.
Be,
and it may
you
not,
be the adult
She's
here.
literally still a child.
and it may not be a big deal to you, a whole ass adult, but it's a big deal to a teenager who's never gone through this before.
Congratulations. You out assholed a teenage
Yeah.
girl that hit you.
And it's thinking that she's a master manipulator,
Yeah.
whoa, slow,
The whole manipulation, like I said, it wasn't even necessary because the
That
mom
makes-
started she was taking care of it. So
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
the girl going to try to manipulate?
That sounds
But the
like
mom's already admitting fault.
Yeah.
That man sound like that. The anxiety or whatever, and that makes me sound like he's a fucking incel.
oh yeah.
Man, yeah, dude was like, I'm not going to fall for your temptress ways.
And it's
Like,
kinda like-
yeah, it does give those
And
vibes.
someone
Yeah.
else kind of backpacked on what you guys were saying. Like, she could have an anxiety disorder. She could have a lot of fear
Yeah.
about driving. She could have abusive
yeah,
parents.
she could have been scared of driving to begin with,
Yeah.
and then that
Oh
happened.
my God, that would ruin me.
Yep.
She could have been upset at the price hike this is going to cause for parents' insurance and they can't afford it. It could be so many things that you have no way of knowing. All you had to do was nothing. You just had to be
Yeah,
quiet.
you just had to be there until it was over.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think it would have taken
Get in
very
your phone
long.
and play
The-
a
the-
game, dude. It's your
Yeah,
trunk. It's not even that damaged.
he didn't even have to talk to her. He
No.
could have just got in the car, waited for the cop.
Mhm.
Yeah. He didn't need to be outside judging her and this and that. Like,
Yeah.
bro,
He could have literally sat in his car on his phone or
all
something.
like insurance
until
is
they
taking
showed up.
care of all this. All you have to do is finish talking to the cop, file your police report,
Yeah.
and say, "Deuces, I'm out. Bye. Have a nice day." You
Like,
don't
I
need
feel like
to interact with
Even
her.
him telling her it's not a big deal and to just calm down, I feel like would have made her more upset.
Well,
Because-
to me, I kind of
I
understand
think
that.
that-
Like, it's
that's
okay.
okay
It's not
in
a
my
big
head.
deal.
But when you're
like,
rolling your eyes.
I,
That-
yeah,
no,
I think
that's-
it
yeah.
depends on
Yeah.
how he
Yeah.
said it, right? And I feel like he probably,
In a
if I had
condescending
to
way.
guess, reduced
Ye-
the way he
He was being very
actually
rude.
said. Like when he typed this
Hey,
up.
sweetheart, it's okay.
Oh,
Yeah, can you stop
Yeah.
overreacting? It's not a big deal. Like I guarantee that he probably said it in a snarky
And like,
way, at
bro,
least based on how
if
it's
he would have
said.
walked up and be like, "Hey, listen, accidents happen. It's all good. Your mom seems to be handling it. The cop's gonna get here. Ain't nothing to worry
Yeah.
about." And like, I would have got back in my fucking car,
Yep.
talked to my fucking sister,
and just waited
and waited for it to be over. Like, it's like once the cop's there, I'd be like, "Hey, whatever you need from me, cool. Like, I'm all good." She seems to be panicking a little bit, but like, ain't nobody mad here.
Yeah.
And-
I mean, but I've seen those TikToks though where people do get mad when they get rear-ended and they come out with like a crowbar or something.
Oh my
and,
God,
Like
yeah.
literally,
Dude,
the first
road
thing like,
rage is
someone
wild.
gets like rear-ended and they just pull out of their freaking driver's seat with a crowbar, and start walking to the car. It's like, why don't you just talk to them?
Like,
why are you walking up with a
chill.
freaking weapon?
Because
Yeah.
people don't know how to fucking communicate.
They don't.
Oh no, some people just jumped straight to violence. Like,
I'm-
you're gonna learn a lesson today.
I'm so happy that they also. God, I
It's
wish,
so funny because they also most of the people that are like that never actually do anything. It's
No.
all intimidation.
No.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, you get the occasional psycho that will literally walk right up to the car and start
I'm-
smashing windows immediately, but like it's so
I'm
infrequent.
I'm just glad he didn't fall for her bewitching ways.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And-
know.
And he stood
Proud of you.
strong.
good job.
Yeah,
Stay
yeah.
strong.
You
man.
really showed it
Yeah.
to that teenager.
Cobra Tate's gonna like your tweet, dude.
Yeah.
It also just
Proud of
feels
you.
like a little bit of sexism going on. Like, oh, the overdramatic girl.
I mean, a
Like-
woman driver did rear-end him.
While the car wasn't
Damn.
in motion either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Like, it's just
Yeah.
think about that.
That
He
car
got rear-ended and his car didn't even move.
nowhere.
Yeah. It's like that girl can't drive totally because she's a girl
Yeah.
and not because she's 18.
Yeah.
Definitely
Right.
because she's a girl.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, it's one of those where it's like
Yeah.
coming from the north, you can always tell who's its first time year
Yeah.
driving in the snow. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
always
Oh, yeah.
tell.
Yeah.
Because the first snow,
Dude,
they're either
here,
off
you-
in the ditch or they're going 10 miles
Dude.
an hour on the road and they're scared to go anywhere.
I don't know if we're
Like-
gonna get it this year, but you'll see it because
Oh,
you
yeah.
you know how to drive in the snow and
Yeah.
shit, dude. It is insane. Motherfuckers here, like, so if there's any ice, and when I say any, I mean like it can
No,
be melted by
Austin-
noon.
Austin has
the
no road etiquette.
entire city shuts down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I say the entire, I mean all businesses are closed. Like everything shuts down. You get a quarter inch of snow, it's over. The
I
whole
mean, we
fucking
had
city's
that big rainstorm like a week ago, and instead of taking me a certain amount of time to get home, it took like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, "This is rain." I was
Dude.
like, "How are you guys acting?"
I'm
like
telling
this
you,
in the
I think what it
rain?"
is because you have Texas roads and highways are very different from other states, just like most states. Most states are different. It's just how it is. And like so you have roads that people are not used to. You have constant construction that has been going on literally the entire
Oh
like,
no,
7
leaving here
years
is
I've lived here.
leaving
It's
here is a
bad.
nightmare.
Yeah.
It's bad, dude. I got to
there's-
take my car into
there's
sport
that.
all the time.
Yeah.
And
same.
then,
Literally same.
uh,
I've never had it into sport mode until
I don't even know
Until
how to.
literally having to
I
make
don't
that
even
turn.
know how to work sport mode.
You press a button.
it
Yeah.
just makes
But
you
it-
go boom.
Yeah,
a little
it
quicker.
puts
Yeah.
the car into very, very high RPM.
Is that all it does?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
it-
was
it burns
worried
a
I'd
lot
have
of
to like
gas.
all
It
of a
burns a
sudden
lot of
turn
gas,
my car
but
from automatic to manual.
it allows you to accelerate much quicker
Yeah.
in those instances.
Weird.
But you add that with like a melting pot of like, there's people from New York, there's people from California, there's people from the middle of the country, there's fucking people from everywhere coming to fucking Austin for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And like, I think it's just, you have all of the, as you moved here a few months ago.
Yeah, right.
There's
How
still
dare
too
you.
many
But I
people.
can
Damn
drive.
it.
I have the accent where people think I'm from here, though.
But I think that's the problem is you have all these people who all drive in different ways. So we're all used to driving in different ways, adding in the construction, and then just fucking some people are just morons. Because like depending on where you go in LA, it doesn't fucking rain there.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I was working at some conventions and I'd be with people who were like their company was from LA. So like I was helping out and they were from there. And like it would start drizzling and they'd be like mind blown. Because it just doesn't rain, apparently, like ever.
And when it does, it's like
It's
12 feet
minor.
of rain.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So it's like when it starts drizzling, they could not. They're like, oh my god, it's downpouring, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, we wouldn't even get that wet.
You're not even turning on the windshield
like a
wipers
bare-
yet.
yeah,
You're
it's
just
like a barely
you're just hitting the
drizzle.
intermittent thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like I think you add that because it is
Yeah.
when it rains, dude. Everybody
No.
just
There's no
done.
etiquette in Austin, at least Austin, because it's like one of those, like, it's common sense that when you're trying to merge on the lane, the other cars in that lane usually get over to clear space for you.
No.
They don't do that here.
No.
Nope.
No, they
like,
don't.
No, you gotta fight
they
for your
will,
spot.
They will speed up to not let
Yeah.
you get over.
Yep.
That happens a lot at that little turn we have to make every freaking time, dude. You
I
just
had,
have to slam
I saw
every
a
time.
van that was going the speed limit, and then he saw me and accelerated to cut me off as
my
I was
God.
starting
Yeah.
to merge.
Dude. So on my way here today,
It was insane.
Just wait until y'all
so,
do.
so
Y'all
I'm
gonna
gonna
have to
on
take
my
the
way
turn
here
we're
today,
talking about.
Where I have to come,
Yeah.
it's like the traffic is so
Good.
bad here. I have to take the toll road on my way here.
Oh, yeah,
And now
same.
the problem with the toll road is it is a single lane. Now the little
Oh my God, yeah.
the little bops that they have across the way are
Half of them are just not.
they're just not there
anymore.
because they're designed so that you can just drive through them without any damage. Specifically, so that if there's an accident,
yeah,
people can escape.
I mean, they're
whatever.
they're just to show you the difference
Yeah.
in lanes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's one lane. There's no way to get around people. So I'm going, and it's like this merge, and like there's a big truck in front of me about to get on, and he's going like fucking 5 miles per hour under the speed limit. And now like this lane, it's such a problem that it has a minimum speed limit.
Yeah.
That is like that they literally on the sign has a minimum speed limit because
Yeah.
it's that much of a problem. And I'm like, I'm not getting stuck behind this motherfucker because some people will go on the toll lane and just go like 5 miles per hour under the minimum speed
Yeah.
limit. And
Of
there's
the other lanes.
And there's nothing you can do because it's a
It's
single
just the
lane.
one lane.
So I went around the guy and I floored it just to get around him because it wasn't a lot of time to get around, but I knew that I could make it. And I get in front of him, and as soon as I like let off the gas, I get a big error on my car. And I'm like, oh God, what the fuck just happened? Like I thought I fucked up from like holding the gas down too hard. And it was like my coolant was low. But I was like, it threw me in. I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like, damn, am I the asshole?
yeah. Thanks for watching, Billy.
Yeah.
We forgot it again. Eric, tell them where
yeah.
they could get the Patreon.
Patreon.com/sortastupider. Get all the good stuff there.
What do they get for $5?
do they get?
1 week early access.
Hell yeah.
Nailed it.
What do they
and
get?
you can get the Sorta Stupider post show for $10.
Yes,
The
sir.
super
What's the tier
Hell.
called? It's not
Super
silver.
stupid.
The super stupid. You can get the super stupid.
I legitimately.
I love he does that every week. It's awesome.
The problem
it's
is,
like
is
my
every,
favorite thing
every
ever.
time he says it, you can't tell if he's doing it on purpose or not.
I know, no, it's fluid.
It's perfect.
Also,
Yeah.
if you have your own Am I the Asshole stories, or your scandalous stories, or your funny stories, or whatever story
your
you want to
Ashley
share
Madison
with the
stories.
class. Yeah, any stories you want to share with the class, and maybe I'll read it on here. Maybe I won't. You'll find out if you keep listening. Submit it to stories@sortastupid.net. Email us with what you want to say, and we'll store it away and maybe use it on another day.
Repeat it again.
Yeah.
Stories@sortastupid.net.
Okay, it felt a little.
Stories. STORIES.
Yeah.
Yeah, not YS.
Yeah. Learn how to spell.
At sortastupid.net.
You're embarrassing yourselves.
One day we will have .com, but a crypto company that has since gone under stole that
I'm
URL. So we're now waiting for that damn URL to come back.
One day, Billy.
But check out sortastupid.net. It's pretty cool there.
And share your stories.
Yeah. Bye.
Enjoy.
Bye.
See you in the Super Stupid Post Show. Go to the Patreon.
Time for some stupid.